Yeah, right. So I looked. So what it was because I said I took it up and then I said so show me this and then I'll I'll follow it. And because the thing what Subi said originally was don't just say something, mean what you say, and then if you say it, mean it, and do it. You know. And so that's what I did because I said I would. And so there were occasionally times when I thought, well, gosh, I don't know. But then because I remembered that, and I thought, well, I said I was going to do it, and I meant it, and so so I rested there. I said, okay, so I did. I went ahead. I meant what I said, and I said what that kind of thing. And so I was so as a result of that. See, then I've been, then the Almighty, has the great, repairs and corrects things and gets things straightened out. So He's been working on me a long time, and so when I'm not sure if there's a point here, but the point, well, okay, so the point is that I'm, some things, in the inner being. So there's the things in me that are working. So I can, you know, I have, God is, God comes, I can access to some degree, just wherever, of course, I'm not like, some whoa big guy, but I can access, my car runs, I can go to the store in my car, and so if you ask me a question, um, I can, I can, the answer will come forth. Um, so it'll be like it's because I won't give you an answer and I won't get in the way of it. It'll just except of course it'll come through my feelings and my being, but it'll still be pretty much directly talking to God. For instance, suppose that I wanted to talk to God, which this isn't a demonstration because I'm not running around all the time talking to God, and that's not how it works exactly. Because you don't need to, and there's different things. But so suppose I did though. Suppose I said, okay, um, I wanted to, ask God a question. So let's say I wanted to ask God, you know, um, let's see, gosh, I don't know. Um, question. I don't usually do this, so I'm sure you have questions that you want to ask, and I'm going to try to answer them. I'm going to try to let God answer them through me. I'm going to be like a circuit, something like that. Hopefully, a good circuit. Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't want to get too serious about it. So let's suppose we say, well, so you want to know. What is God doing today? Of course, you might think that's a frivolous question, but let's just say that was your question. That's what was in your nature to ask. What is God doing today? And so, I said, well, lots of things. Now, here's the thing. You might think that answer is just some silly answer. There's a difference between that. There's a content to it. There's a place where it comes from. And with any luck, you'll notice that. You'll say, well, and you'll feel something. It'll resonate. So I guess that's going to be kind of a problem, isn't it? Because I'm going to say things and they're going to have a content, and if you don't feel the content, you'll just say, well, that's he's just making that stuff up. I mean, anybody can say that. But you have to realize, actually, probably in that case, because I like to take on hard problems, and I'm challenging myself right now. So in that case, you might say, well, yeah, but people wouldn't really ask that question. They wouldn't want to know. They don't really care much about it. No, they care about their own life. much more likely to ask questions. What's happening? What's going to happen? When I die? And stuff like that. Or hopefully not too serious. You don't want too serious questions. But well, I'm not going to put a thing on it. We'll just have to see. I could see where it could get pretty. I don't know. Maybe that could be like. Well, it could get pretty rough, couldn't it? Or it might. But I'm not going to anticipate problems because I'll just I love you, and I see all this thing that's going on where people don't and they're just and sometimes they suffer and they agonize and they can't understand. And they get consoled because, the minister or the priest or some good friend of theirs who isn't religious, but, comes and says, well, that's okay, now we have to go on, and blah, blah, blah. So they get answers. But I know that there's a lot of things out there, and I want to help you. Now, whether or not the Almighty is going to go along with this or wants me to do this, we'll just have to see. So, I think later tonight, let's see, maybe, I don't know, I don't know if I could even do this. Maybe about, let's say, 1 in the morning. Let's see, at 1 in the morning, I'm going to put on a show, and I'm going to say, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'll just talk, I guess. I'll just talk, whatever kind of comes, and talk, and then, do you want to ask a question? Now, this is kind of an experiment. We're going to see if I can do this and if it'll work. But, it might work. It could work. It could work. I've done it before with, maybe some friends or with myself or, things. And it's not like, I'm not a psychic, okay? I'm not a magician. I'm not a this or that. And I don't have an agenda, except my agenda is to help mankind. That's the intention, the effort. Nothing more or less than that. Because, if mankind can get into this and understand this and get the right idea of it and take it up, this gift, things would be so much better for them. So much better. And they have so much more fun. All the stuff we're doing. Think about it. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Look at all the people on the earth. Billions of people. They all have a chance to learn and grow and do things that are positive, have kids and have grandkids and all that wonderful stuff, and get into thrilling, kind of have big challenges and then work through them and learn and grow and do all kinds of things, and have a decent place to live and everything else. There's plenty of room for it. There's like over 2 to 4 acres or something of good land, not just junk desert, but livable land for everybody. And we could all be just having a great time here if we were hooked up and were able to be guided. And I just have to always say, because the way that people are kind of guided, it's a pretty kind of a hot potato. That word, it kind of has a bad. It can quickly. It doesn't need to, because you don't understand what it means. But yeah, it can be kind of like, oh gosh, now every time I do something, I'm going to have to go to the book. No, this isn't about. This is a living thing. It's like within you. It just flows, and it's part of you. You don't feel like you are. Yeah, just a minute. Come in. That was just son, and so he had to do some things, and so, so you don't even, it's not like in terms of what guidance really means, it's not like you're in a master-slave relationship, and it's not even like, you have to do anything. I mean, like you have to, like you have to. Wait, what's my? You have to do this shifting thing. That sort of thing would that would become just intolerable. You'd say, well, that's all. I just want to go to the beach. Okay, can I just, I'm going to the beach. And actually, that's how things work, because you kind of flow along in your life, just like I'm doing now. And then, if something is getting out of whack or something, or something, it's kind of feeding in. You don't even. You are free. I'm free. I'm. Maybe I'm not free to follow impulses, but I don't want to follow impulses. But I'm free. I'm sitting here, and I'm talking to you about what I want to talk to you about. I'm not digging around myself now. What should I say next? And let me make up. No, I'm not doing that. So the thing is, it's really like dare I say it? Christ said, "Take up my thing. It's the burden is light. The yoke is easy. It is. I mean, you can look at me. You can see, well, I'm not having a big hard time here. And I feel I'm free, and and I'm so don't get you want to get the wrong idea about what that means, but in any case, I can see, I don't know, there could be some real see, because one of the things that's occurred to me, and I don't want to start up with a bunch of problems, but let me just say right off the bat that there is a kind of a thing this could kind of backfire. So I'm not sure if I'll do it, or maybe I'll just do it a little bit, because see, once I start this up, then see, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I'm not trying to deceive anybody or fool anybody, or I mean, that would be a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to do. To say to you that yeah, you can talk to God directly and then have some sort of thing. Oh God, that would be awful. How could you do that to another human being? You really couldn't. You wouldn't even want to think about it. I wouldn't. But see, then there's other kind of people around, so maybe they would want this and they would want that. And so maybe they would deceive. It's easy to do, because you have forces in you. So you say, like for instance, a person can go like, well, will God help me in my job? And the guy can come back and go like, yes, God will help you. That's just a force. That's not God talking back. If you want to know, if the person asks that question from that source, will God help me in my job? See, and what does that mean? See, it has a different meaning. It has a different content. Because it's sort of, the meaning of that is like, you go ahead, you work. You work in that job. So you get that feeling from it. That's how you're going to get help. You're going to get help in that way. God's going to help you work. The other content is, it's the other guy was saying, the sham guy. He's saying, his content is, he says, God will help you and all this kind of stuff with a deep voice and, psalm thing. What he's saying is, I am God. It's horrible, So I don't want to set up, I don't want to be like set up by things. So I'm coming along, I'm giving the real thing, as they say, like, I was thinking today, I shouldn't say this, but it's like with Coke, the real thing, Coke, you may not like Coke or not, but I mean, Coke is the real thing, isn't it? I mean, because, it has a certain flavor, and there's no denying it has this thing it has, and no other drink really quite has that. That's why it's so popular. I don't know what it does. But, I'm going to give you the real thing, but, I don't want to be, like, set up, as I'm saying, so that, like, and I can be down here, and then a whole bunch of other people come in, drown me out, and go like, well, I am the great Mufti Mullah, and I have a degree in, theology.